American Ever After presentation. Fukushima. That's right. I want to talk about Fukushima. Do you want to talk about Fukushima? Who's talking about Fukushima? Is anybody talking about Fukushima? Is it in the news? Anybody talking about it overseas? I mean, come on, folks. Let's talk about this. This is Fukushima. This is the #1 problem on the planet. Let's get everybody to just drop the problems for a minute. I mean, this one is going to affect the globe. If this goes any further, we have one more reactor go off there. This thing is going to affect the globe for thousands of years. That's right, not just hundreds of years. How many generations of people is that? Thousands of years, folks, that if we don't correct this problem, Fukushima, folks, radiation is not, it doesn't have a color. It doesn't have a smell. Think about this for a minute. There are so many things that I can put in a glass of water that are tasteless, odorless, that don't smell like anything, that'll kill you. This could kill you tonight. They could kill you dead at the dinner table. Do you still sit down at the dinner table? They could kill you 5 years from now. Are you going to figure it out? Do you have the knowledge here to figure it out? Could you figure it out 5 years from ago that you gulped in a gulp of air, that you died 5 years later from Fukushima? You didn't see it go in, you didn't smell it, you didn't hear it. Folks, what if it was bright pink? Would you see it then? Would you say something about it? Would you do something? Would you tell your neighbor? Do you live on the West Coast? Would you be like Alpha Beta and tell a friend? Come on, guys. This is real. This stuff is affecting the children. Look at the people over there right now in Japan. Look at the children. Massive thyroid cancer going on with the children. You think the Japanese government's going to tell you anything about it? They passed in their media that they're not allowed to say anything about it. They're not allowed to say a word. They're passing the same laws across the country, gag orders, First Amendment rights are going to be eroded here soon in the U.S. You better say something about this, folks, before you're not able to say anything. That's right, folks, you better say something. You hear that? People need to talk about this. This isn't something that's going to go away, folks. I'm telling you, it's here today and it's not going to get any better. Those reactors went off nearly 2 years ago. It might have been longer. Maybe the radiation's getting to my brain, but it's been a while and nobody said anything about it. Go on YouTube right now, folks. Go on YouTube. Look on YouTube. Find the videos. There's a company that makes radiation detectors that went to the West Coast, that detected, that went out there to make sure that this wasn't just a bunch of baloney, all right? That this is real stuff. This isn't something that we should forget about, sweep under the rugs like we've been doing our kids now for generation after generation. I care about those kids. I care about your kids. If you don't give a rat's ass about your kids, I do. I care about all kids. They're innocent. If you can't make the decision, I'm here to make it for them. That's why I make this video. Fukushima, say it. Say it to your friends. Say it to your neighbors. It's not going away, okay? Look, you've got these reactors. They've been going off. They've been leaking into the sea for a couple years now. Over there right now, they've got homeless people, guys. Homeless people doing the cleanup on this. Are you going to allow this to happen? I mean, this is the lowest part of how much lower can you get? These folks have no idea what's happening to them. This is ridiculous. You need to wake up. Wake up, America. Shit, wake up the planet. I apologize. But this is something we need to be serious about. Hey, I still have a First Amendment right. I can say that as of right now. People are going to like what you say when you bring this up to them, but that's not what this is about. Life is not all about a bunch of ponies and rainbows and fairy tales. It's about life. It's about reality. It's about taking care of your business, handling your business. We as a country didn't do anything to deserve this, or maybe we did. Are we behind this? Was it our heart that did this? Was it our heart that can create earthquakes, that created those earthquakes over there in Japan, that sent that tsunami over there? There's laws that have been acted, folks, that that these weapons, weather weapons, are not supposed to be used for these kind of things that are not supposed to be happening. People say, what, Hurricane Katrina? You think this is the first time this has happened? I want to bring something up to everybody in this country in America. Let's go ahead and say it. False flag. Have you ever heard that term? You believe in America? You believe in this country? You think that we've never false flagged anybody? You believe in Thanksgiving? You celebrate that? You eat turkey, prime rib, stuffing, gravy? Do you really believe that you were taught in school what they taught you about? We sat down peacefully and had a peaceful dinner? Come on. If you're one of those people, then you've probably already offended and you've turned this off already. But if you're still hanging around, you know what I'm talking about. Look, folks, we have got to make sure that we take care of this, okay? We, of course, need to make people accountable for who has done this, but we definitely need to address the problem, you know? These people here have, there's a term that goes out. They make the bullets and the Band-Aids. Obviously, whoever's behind this is making money on both ends of the deal. Let's talk about it. TEPCO, that company that's over there, think about the, folks, get on the internet, do some homework, find out how many of those people have died already that have been doing cleanup over there. How about our soldiers? How about our Navy soldiers in the United States of America? Soldiers, our kids. That's your kids you're sending over there to seize. Young kids. It's not. You think it's the top generals they send out on to do the dirty work, to clean up the, you know what? No. It's your kids they're sending out there. It could be my kid someday, not too far off. He'll be old enough to join the service. Is he going to go over there and Uncle Sam's going to send him to do his dirty work? It's your kids, guys. It's your kids that are dying, and it's the young ones that are affected the most by this. You know, when you're young, your cells are still dividing, okay? When you're older, you're dying off. So, of course, we're not going to be affected by this as much. It's those young kids that are going to take this stuff into their bodies. These are the ones that are getting thyroid cancers. These are the ones, look at the statistics, okay? If you don't do something about this now, folks, this isn't going away, okay? I've got so much information on this I want to hit on. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I mean, take, for example, let me give you, other than, you know, what the current information, you know, that most people should be aware of cancer causing all kinds of, or excuse me, radiation causing all kinds of problems. Look, radiation. Is there an acceptable level of radiation? Folks, when this plume of radiation that hit the West Coast, okay, the radiation levels were raised. The United States government, if that's what you want to call it, it made the acceptable levels of radiation higher. I didn't know that radiation levels were acceptable at all. You know, this event, people, if they would just look at this, have you ever heard of Chernobyl? You know how many people died and how much of a terrible event that was, right? This is a million times worse, folks. I mean, this is we had 1, 2, 3, 4. How many reactors have gone off over there? How many are going to go off before they actually, you know, totally melt down? Again, if we have any more problems, I'm not even sure. I'm not a scientist, but I'm a realist. And I can tell you, I know there's enough radiation on the planet right now. Go on YouTube, folks. Look at it again. I told you earlier that there was a company. I'm so scatterbrained about this, but there was a company out there that made these radiation detectors, went and tested at the West Coast because of the media. It came out in the mainstream media that there was a scare of this radiation. Half Moon Bay. Guys, Alex Jones, Infowars.com, sent his reporters out there. Jakari Jackson, I forget who the other reporter was, okay? They brought out their detectors, and in Half Moon Bay, over 300 parts. Come on. That's like 10, 20, 30. I don't even know the math on that. I don't even want to know the math on that. I don't want to breathe any of this, okay? That's just background radiation. Of course we're going to have radiation. We live in the northern hemisphere. Wake up, folks. That stuff's going to rise to the top. You know, we live in the northern hemisphere. Look, Look this statistic up. 9 out of 10 of our reactors here in the U.S. are leaking radiation already. Of course we have background radiation. Of course we have radiation. But we're getting radiation. Now, I want to bring up some more information here. Let's see if you can put 2 and 2 together, right? 2 and 2 should equal 4 unless you're Common Core taught. Folks, you need to fix that problem too, please. Those are your kids they're teaching. 2 plus 2 equals 5. Are you awake? Hello? Come on. Folks, look, we have radiation on the West Coast. At some places that's testing 150 to over 300 parts with these meters, real meters. I'm not talking garbage. Again, this was a company that made these things that went out and tested this. You got radiation right now they're testing in Missouri. Look on the internet, you'll find what I'm talking about. There's information, there's videos of these people taking video after video of the snow, the recent snow that's fallen on the ground. Think about that. That radiation is stuck on the ground until that snow melts. It's right there where it's at, and you're breathing it in. Why do we have radiation on the West Coast and the East Coast? Has it made it? Why is in some places it's higher? Guys, heard this? Are you an info warrior? Did you watch and see what happened there in Texas at Dyess Air Force Base? Those 3 nuclear warheads that were taken off that Air Force Base, headed to South Carolina. One of them. All of a sudden we have this. Here we go, guys. Get your calculators out. We're going to do the math now, okay? They take them. 2 of these things turn up. Okay, accounted for. One of them missing, but all of a sudden we seem to have an earthquake out on the East Coast where we've never had an earthquake, or at least recently, quite a few years that I've knowledge. Earthquake. Nuclear bomb. Radiation on the West Coast. Radiation on the East Coast. What's your calculator telling you, folks? Mine's telling me 2 plus 2 equals 4. This is not hard math. Look, you could get kids in 1st and 2nd grade to figure this out, and you're the parents, and you're doing what? Going to work? Paying the bills? You ain't going to be able to give your kids that house. If you can't, do you realize that's just background radiation, folks? We're not even talking about hot particles. One hot particle! Kid, I think one hot particle, they might last a couple days. You think you got enough time to figure it out then? After your child's sitting there laying dead on the floor, dead in the emergency room, because you didn't have enough time to figure it out? You didn't have enough time to give a rat's about this? Come on, guys. Fukushima. Say it. Say it to everybody you know, because this is the most important thing on the planet. Guys, they've got the homeless over there working to fix these reactors, okay? That's ridiculous. YouTube video chatter about duct tape being used to fix these things. I mean, come on, guys. Are you for real? I mean, I see where they're headed with this. I can put 2 and 2 together. I know that it's simple math, you guys. See, they've got all these reactors leaking around the planet, and you've got who? You've got, what, Google buying up all this technology, right? Not hard to figure it out. Anybody see where I'm going with this? This is almost like Wheel of Fortune or something like that, where I put a couple numbers out there on the board. Can you see the big picture here? Do you see where I'm going with this? Guys, they're going to phase humanity out here soon. If you don't realize, there's already a bunch of humans that have had their jobs taken by computers. That's who they're going to send in to fix this. That's why Google's made... I bet you I'm one of the first people on the internet to figure that out. And it's not hard, guys. You just have to pay attention. Don't you see? Pretty soon, there's going to be no room for you. There's going to be no room for you if you don't stand up for humanity. Stop this. You stop these people from just putting a Band-Aid or duct tape on this. It's not going to go away, folks. Okay? There are ways right now to protect yourself. First thing to do is just admit that it's happening. That's not hard, right? Okay, it's happening. Now what do? You know, guys, I want you to wake up to think that some of these people, this is information. I'm going to give you a hard fact that you can look up right now, and I'm telling you, you can look this up. Tell this to your friends. Tell this to your neighbors. Fukushima, okay? One. Tell them that. They don't like hearing it. Tell them it to them again. Look up. The government, just recently, within the last week, okay, within the last month, has purchased 14 million tablets of TheraSafe. This is the government-approved treatment for radiation, guys. That's another 2 plus 2 equals 4. It's simple math. Are you figuring this out? Are you just going to deny this? Are you just going to act like this isn't happening? Come on, guys. Why does the government purchase 14 million tablets of TheraSafe? They're just putting them on hold? I mean, there's radiation in this country right now. And is it for what's going on now? Or, oh, maybe I'm just a wild conspiracy theorist, and maybe it's what's going to happen, what's coming soon, huh? Maybe they don't even care about the radiation levels that are happening right now. I mean, you hear of all these bunkers being built by the elite? Guys, there's a gentleman on InfoWars that's been interviewed by Alex Jones. His name is Joel Skousen. He builds some of the biggest, for the elite, folks, these huge bunkers to protect themselves. He's telling everybody, he's wrote a book on this called Strategic Relocation that's basically talking about in the event of a breakdown, nuclear, blah, 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 whatever, that, you know, he's come out and said, these people are all building bunkers. You know, most of your tax dollars since the 1980s, and old Mr. Sam isn't going to like what I have to say about this, but has been paying for nuclear hogs to dig these fucking dumb. Wow, I went there. Hey, look, guys, I can't help it. I'm passionate about this stuff. You need to wake up, okay? Fukushima, again, it's not going away. I want you to take a look at this stuff on the internet. See what you can find. See if I'm the only one talking about this. I'm not. There are other people talking about this, but we need to get on top of this, you know. Look, again, I'm talking about ways to treat this. There are ways to fix these problems. As far as how we're going to fix it over there, hey, robotics is a possibility. That is I'd rather see robots go in there than cost human lives. But what are we going to do with that technology? We're going to make sure it's in the right hands with the right people doing the right things, okay? Right now, you need to understand that you can protect yourself. Your first line of defense, your body's natural first line of defense is your thyroid. That's in your throat. Right here, guys. That's your, when you swallow that air, when you breathe it in through your nose, it goes down your throat and it goes into your thyroid. That's why you're going to get the thyroid cancer first. That's just simple math again, guys. That's not rocket science, you know. You don't have to be able to go to the moon to figure this stuff out, you know. This is simple stuff, okay? You can protect your thyroid with iodine. Now, unfortunately, your lovely government has taken the iodine out of breads, which used to be in breads, which used to be in flour, of course, their breads, all your different things. That's been replaced with an element called bromine. That's a halogen. That's terrible. That works on your thyroid. That works on your kidneys. That breaks that stuff down. That's hard on your immune system, okay? They building and loading your thyroid full of this stuff. You're drinking city water. Do you live in a town where they've got city water? Are they fluoridating that water? Are you doing anything about that? Do you know what fluoride is? Do you know that fluoride is also a halogen? Fluoride is what they use to kill cockroaches, folks. Supposedly the last thing that's going to be here after we all get nuked. They're going to fluoride. That's what they're spraying on your fruits and vegetables. You ever notice why your stomach, some of us, maybe not all of us, but why your stomach hurts when you eat the vegetables? You're trying to do the right thing. Well, I wash it all off. I take it in the sink and I make sure I clean that all off with my fluoridated water, right? Oh no, I don't live in the fluoridated water. I'm on a well, so I'm not using the fluoridated water, so I rinse off the vegetables. What do you think they're growing that stuff with, folks? A lot of these places, GMOs, this is all contracted. Again, all this stuff links together. I don't see how people aren't figuring this stuff out. Monsanto is growing this stuff. They're letting these municipalities spray this and water this fruits and all your fruits and vegetables because you're trying to eat healthy, right? You're trying to eat the vegetables. You're trying to do the right thing. They're growing that stuff in fluoride. They're spraying it with fluoride. Folks, I seen a video on YouTube about folks that live overseas in different, I don't even know the country, but I'm telling you, they were using soda, the stuff that you and I drink, or I'm off of it now, but the soda, they use that as a pesticide because they can't afford the pesticides, but they use your soda, your Cokes, and your Pepsis, they spray this stuff on their fruits and vegetables to keep the bugs off of them. Guys, you're putting that in your belly too. Is that telling you something? There's fluoride in the water that it's fluoridated. The water, what do you think that soda is? It's water-based, fluoride-based, fluoride, okay? Then, now, municipalities have to treat your water for generally two things. Otherwise, they don't care. I mean, they do care because they're pumping in a compound, hydrofluoric silicic acid. That's fluoride. That's what they're telling you it is fluoride. That's good for your kids' teeth, right? Really good for you. Okay, fluoride has been around for a long time, guys. Hitler used fluoride. This is not something that's just started today, guys. This has been around a long time, okay? This is information that you have access to, that you could back up and see that I'm not making this stuff up. This is important stuff, okay? When you protect your... Now, where's he going with this, okay? If you fill your thyroid full of iodine, okay, it will protect your body from when you intake all that fluoride in your water, all the chloride, because, again, the only thing they've got to treat your water for is fecal and coliform bacteria, guys. Fecal and coliform bacteria. That's, coliform bacteria. That's that vegetation that's sitting out there that rots. It turns into bacteria, okay? Fecal. Do I need to explain about fecal? Okay, I will. Poop, okay? You want to eat somebody's poop, you're going to get sick, guys, okay? Look. Those are bacteria that are treated in your water. They treat those with chloride, chlorine bleach, the same stuff that, you smells really strong when you take your kids to the local pool. That's not good. Your body, that's a halogen, folks. That's on the same periodic table, okay? All these things are attacking your thyroid. Then they're spraying you. Let's not go into that on this one, but they're spraying you. All these things are attacking your system, and then they're just letting this nuclear reactor leak all this radiation into your weak thyroid. Well, how much longer do you think it's going to be before people start maybe just kind of dropping like flies? Have you seen the birds falling out of the sky? A lot of radiation sits up in that atmosphere, with the reactors and going off. Maybe that's why those birds are falling out of the sky. I mean, maybe that's just a wild theory, but I don't know, 2 and 2 and me equals 4. I mean, that's not hard to figure out, guys. All these things that are washing up on our oceans, the starfish. Again, let's bring this up real quick, this sore subject about why do we have starfish that are on the East Coast that are dying and on the West Coast that are dying? Same thing, same symptoms. If it walks like a duck, if it squawks like a duck, if it acts like a duck, well, it might be, I think it's a duck. It might even be an Oregon duck, but hey, it's a duck, okay, guys? It's a duck. That's what it is. Figure it out. You've got the same problem. We've got a two-headed baby whale washed up on the West Coast, okay? That's starting, okay, I've heard rumors about potentially 80% of the sea life is sitting on the Pacific Ocean floor. Okay, red alert, guys. Are you still eating seafood? Come on. Let's not do that, guys. Let's not just go ahead and give into it and let's, I feel bad for all those fishermen that have, what, I don't know what to do, but let's not eat it, okay? There's ways to protect yourself, okay? Let me get to the point of what I'm saying. I'm getting long-winded. Iodine, guys, iodine. You can get this, since it was taken out of and replaced with these other items, bromine, okay? You can replace this, you can get this in natural sea salts, okay? You can find this in Himalayan pink salts, okay? Or make sure that, look on that bottle of salt that you got hanging out in your cupboard. Flip it around. Does it say not a sufficient form of daily source of iodine? That's because they took it out. Look what they put in it and replaced it with. You need to get your thyroid filled with that. It's like a protection. It's almost like wearing a bulletproof vest. You wouldn't just go out in combat and be taking bullets without wearing a bulletproof vest, would you? I mean, come on. This is common sense stuff, guys. Let's figure this out. It's not hard, okay? Iodine can also be in a much more pure form. Now, I'm a supporter. I'm just going to say it now. I support the InfoWars. I am an info warrior. I'm an information hound. I sniff this stuff out. I'm going to keep bringing this information as I sniff it out and bring it to you guys. But on the InfoWars shop, or this is, I'm going to mess this up, and probably is not going to like it, but hey, you get on InfoWars. There's another site that he has on there. It's a Life, InfoWars Life. Just go to InfoWarsShop.com, okay, guys? He sells an electrified form of Nasic atomic iodine. The quickest way for your body to absorb iodine would be for it to be electrified. When you have it as a potassium iodine, like the TheraSafe that they have, your body's going to have to work through all that sodium, the salts, till it can get to the iodine. The quickest way for you to get that into your thyroid is to take it electrified, okay? It's Nasic iodine. He does, it's called Survival Shield, okay? A little promotion or a little props there for Alex Jones. This is something I recommend that you buy as many that you can, okay? If you hoard it, give it to everybody you know when it comes down to it, okay? Look, the guy can't even keep the stuff in half the time. It's that good. Look at his reviews on it. He has no bad reviews. This is something that I have in mind as a last-ditch effort. I'm using the Himalayans. I've got other forms. Go to your health store, guys. You can get iodine, a potassium iodine, that you can take in a dropper similar to it. Alex Jones says the same things. He doesn't care where you get this stuff. Just start taking it. He supports the same thing. He's a supporter of humanity. So, again, I could go on and go on and on and on about this. I better wrap this video up, though, guys. Think about it. Protect yourself. Tell somebody about this. This is a problem that is the biggest problem on the planet. All countries should put aside their differences for a moment. That sounds like a fairy tale, but if we don't do something about it, these reactors are going to end up, they've got these homeless down there. They're going to bash a couple of these tubes together, and they're going to end up melting down, and we're going to have problems for thousands of years to come. You know, do you want your next kid to have 3 heads? I mean, they've got corn over on the West Coast right now in Oregon that's growing 2 and 3 corns per shoot. Guys, this happens. That's radiation. Again, I want you to look up the stuff, the effects of Chernobyl. Look at all these children that were born with all these deformities. That's what radiation does. This stuff's pretty it might even be biblical if you look into it, with the past of having civilizations that existed with man that had maybe the body or upper body of a wolf and the bottom of a human being, or a hawk, or guys, again, look at the Egyptian symbols. Look at some of this stuff. We're messing with fire here, okay? Literally, if we're not careful, we all might just find ourselves. I think God would judge us knowing that if we could do something about this and we didn't do anything about it, I think God would judge us for that. I think that's a good note to end it on, okay? Other than, I think it's time that we should just wake up as Americans, wake up as a humanity, wake up as a civilization, and understand that we need to do something about this. Thank you for hitting this. Again, this is the biggest problem we have on the planet, okay? Wake up, okay? Wake up, America.